Morning. From a chilly morning here in Mexico. And if you felt like it has been way overdue, that it's time to change. Like if you felt that like the time to change has been way overdue, this video is for you. And to be honest with you, I really only have one question for you. What is going to have to happen for you to finally take that action? Like there's something you need to change and you know it. What is going to need to happen for you to finally take that action? What is it? Because it sounds like a very simple question, but at the same time, it can be a very sad question. Because for some of you, it's just going to take this video. Like the wake up call. Like this is a sign. I don't even know this guy. He just popped up on my feed. Like, okay, that's what it's going to take. Or maybe some of you guys are listening for a long time and this is the video that it's going to take. For other people, it's going to take a health scare. It's going to take a relationship almost falling apart. In terms that I'm used to hearing, it might take, you hitting your rock bottom. Like that's what it's gonna have to take. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to have to hit rock bottom for you to realize that it's time for change. Some of you guys have followed me for a long time, but some of you guys are with me in Bali. And when I first got to Bali, if you look at my videos from probably the first 5 or 6 months I was there, especially the beginning of 2020, it took me literally gaining, I believe, 12 kilos, weighed more than I ever had in my entire life. And I was inside. I basically, if you guys know, in the beginning of 2020, I stayed on a farm for about 6 weeks. Didn't move, didn't really walk, was eating, stayed with the chef and had a lot of food everywhere. And it took me gaining so much weight. But that still didn't do it for me. Because I'm like, I can still move and walk. And then it took me going on a little bit of a hike and realizing how hard it was to breathe. Like all I did was go into a little town for one day and I went to a hike in Ubud. This is when everything was still locked down. And I hiked up a little hill. I walked up there and I remember just being so out of breath. And for me, that was the moment of like, things have to change and they have to change now. And as I look back on the time, I realized I didn't have to wait till that time. I didn't have to wait that long. It's been a habit of mine. Why do I have to wait till that long? What sirens have to go off? For some people, the siren, you have to realize people don't get scared that much. People who smoke, maybe this is you, there's the packet, there's a thing on the package, the cigarette package that shows you someone who is not in the best health condition on the photos, but it doesn't hit anyone because you're like, I can deal with that. That's not till later. Either you think it's not too bad or it's not close enough. That's 20 years down the line. I don't have to worry about that today. And, when it comes to change, you don't have to get to that point. Right now I'm at the point, I just finished a 2.5 month trip on a motorcycle all around Mexico. Probably going to release some of those videos soon on another channel, I'm guessing. But the one thing I realized was that I didn't go to the gym for like 2.5 months. And about halfway through the trip, I realized that this is that past situation I was in before all over again. Because if you think about it right now, where you are, what you're going through, that change you feel like is coming, that you need to have happen, you've been in the situation before. Now understand me. It was a different thing, but the same energetic pattern, the same energetics of, I know I need to change. If I don't, things are going to go bad, but I'm okay for now. And that's the process that just keeps getting repeated. That's how it is. Even to this day, I haven't been to the gym in 2.5 months. I can see my body changing. I can feel my body changing. Yes, I have great energy. I feel amazing. But I know that I can feel a lot better than now. And I know that the effects of it sometimes doesn't hit you in that moment. Like stay with me, okay? Stay with me, okay? I know the sun is a little bit bright, but stay with me, okay? The effects of what I'm doing, the effects of what you're doing isn't seen in this moment. But if you stick with it just a little bit longer, you're going to start to see the effects. One of the best examples I love to give is I think I heard Jim Rohn. He was giving a talk to a class, and he said, "What happens if I put my hand on fire?" And the kids are like, "You're gonna get burned." And so he had this candle, and he just rubbed his hand over the candle. He's like, "Are you sure?" Like, "Yeah, you'll be burned." And he rubbed his hand over the candle like this. Nothing. He's like, "That sounds so bad." And he did it again. And he did it again. Nothing. And they're like, "No, no, no." They're like, "No, Mr. Rohn, you have to keep it there a little bit longer." That's You have to keep it there a little bit longer, and you're going to see how that this is going to change your life in ways you didn't realize. Like all of a sudden now, as I gained all this weight in Bali, I didn't think, I thought, well, I've gained all this weight, but it's fine. I never realized the other things that it affected. Yeah, it's tough to breathe going up the hill, but that's okay. No, it also affected my confidence going to a gym. Because now I know I'm out of shape. Now I don't even really want to go to the gym. I don't want to be seen by all these people being out of shape. It also made me feel like, okay, well, I don't feel so confident going to the beach anymore. Even though I'm decently fit, but it's not what I know I can do and who I can be. So for you all, what is it going to take for that change to happen? Because it can happen just now. You can decide for it to happen in this moment. After this video, you can make that change. 100%. I 100% know that you're capable of making the change. But only you decide what has to happen for you to make that change. Only you. No one else here can do it. I think it was the book, The War of Art. I gotta reread that book. It's been on my mind a lot. But I remember the first few pages from when I read that book a few years ago. It's like if someone found out they had 6 months to live, like it was like 90% of people would leave their jobs. Like it took you knowing that you were about to not be here anymore on this earth to realize that you should finally be living. This is something that my mind, my soul will not just leave me alone about. My soul won't let me do it. Because I've traveled with money, I've traveled without money, and I know how when you're living your life, it's one of the most beautiful things. Yes, it's great to have money. It's important to have money. You can help so many more people with money. But I've also realized that you can work hard and work all the time and never live your life and never have any money at the end of the month. And especially back in the past, back in when I was just, me, a camera, and a bag, traveling around the world, I would prefer to be homeless. No problem. Why wouldn't I? Homeless, no one's telling me what to do. I can go where I want to. It forced me to work on my people skills. But I think I've always had this knack in my mind, and maybe, I don't know, I won't know till the end of my life, is that living the life was more important. And truly, living your life is more important. I was lucky enough to I lived around big cities where I had the chance to meet so many people. I lived in Barcelona, I lived on the border for 5 years where I went every single weekend, at least for 4 of those years. And I got to meet people. And the strangest thing happened when I meet people. I would meet people in Barcelona when they're on their vacation. We would have the best time, amazing time. And we would talk and I would get to know this person. But I didn't get to know the person who I thought I was getting to know. I got to know the vacation version of the person. When they were really doing what they love to do. When we were on the street, we were eating kebabs. Oh my goodness, I can't believe those days. Eating cheap food, sitting on the corner. That's who I got to know. I got to know those people. And then what happened was when they went back home and I would talk on the phone to them, I would be shocked at what? What do you mean you work at an office job and you don't even have time on the weekends or the energy? I was like, I always think in my mind, do you see what you were capable of? Some of y'all don't even realize what y'all are capable of. This is what hurts my heart sometimes. Some of you, I want you to think back to a time where you were on a vacation. I want you to think about it. Maybe some of y'all aren't big walkers. You don't walk a lot. But I want you to think back to a time where you're on a vacation. Or you were out with your friends. You stayed up till 4 in the morning, maybe 1 in the morning. You walked all day. That's what you're capable of. And then you go back into the other life and you find yourself sitting all the time and not moving and thinking well, this is just who I am. This is just how it is. When in reality, no, because I guarantee you, some of you guys don't even walk 10,000 steps a day. But I bet you if I took you to Disney World, surprised you for a week, we went to all the parks, we went to Magic Kingdom, we went to Animal Kingdom, we went to Epcot, we went to all the places, Hollywood Studios, we went to all of them each day. I bet you'd be surprised at all the energy that you have to do something that you really love. It's why I'm such a fan of, maybe my next video is going to be on that, of why I believe everyone needs to have a YouTube channel, to have that purpose, to know that I can help people, I can do this, I can show up to help people who I don't even know. I get so many comments from you all who I don't even know. Some of you guys have never even met me in real life. And I've always done my best to, whenever I've been filming in the city, to show you that part of the city so you can see, well, if that part of the city is real and he filmed here, then he must be real. We need to find connections to see that they're real. And, you know, long story short, what is it going to take for you to change? Literally, it's a question. It's not like, oh, this is a good video. No, it's a question. What is going to have to happen? What's going to have to happen? And when you realize how sad of an answer that can be, before you're consciously aware, before you actually think about it. Like, some people are going to have to really have health scares. Because for me, health scares are like the biggest wake-up call. And people that I see, people that I've worked with, people that I've known, and they're like, that person didn't used to be like that, but then they had this illness and then they started to live their life. But what if it didn't have to take that? What if it didn't have to take that? What if it didn't? Like, I hope that this can be the wake-up call. I hope that this can be the video that you needed to see a few years ago, but you didn't, but you saw it today, and you're so grateful, and now you go out and change. Like, without taking the action, it doesn't mean, it means so little, and it means nothing to the marketplace. There has to be some change. I don't know not what is it going to take. I don't know what you're going to have to hear. I don't know what you're going to have to read. But it's my hope that after seeing this, and I've been trying to get away from the word hope, because I believe that that's the final defense, you know, and I don't like using that when it's not necessary. But it is my desire that you realize that sooner than later. That you realize that the change is necessary and you just need a little bit of a plan. The one thing I'm telling everyone is to join us on Fridays where we talk, where we have Zoom calls every Friday, where we can get you guys clear on some things. But even more important than that is just to decide, like, do you want to stay in the situation you're in for a lot longer? And if not, what does that situation look like? Like, these are things you need to write down. It's not just a passive video you just watch and that's it. But literally think of that. What is it that you want to have? And one thing I have with my clients is I have them, how easy is it to draw what it is that you want? That's a whole nother video. I've had 3-4 sessions trying to get someone, well, this is what I want. Well, let's draw it. I want to be happy and free. Well, what is that? How do I draw that? Like, I could draw a picture of you standing outside of a prison with your hands in the air, smiling with the sun in your face. Like, you want to be free. Well, what kind of people think that they want to be free? Just that thought alone. Have you ever thought about that? Like, I just want to be free. Who says that? Because to say that you want to be free, and I know we're getting way off topic, but we're about to wrap it back up. The person who says they want to be free does not come from a free person, which means you automatically assume that you're not free as it is. So if you're not free right now, what are you? And more important, are you sure that that's the words and language that you want to use? Now, with that being said, I know this was a little bit of a talk today, but I feel great, guys. I feel amazing. And I know life has taught me that when you have those days that you feel great, do more than you think you can, because you're not always going to feel the way you feel right now. So it's one of those things to capitalize on. Like if you're feeling the motivation from like, this is what I need, now's the time to draw out the plan. Now's the time to take action. You ride the wave. When there's a beautiful wave, ride it. I've lived by beaches my entire life, and the one thing I'll tell you about getting in the waters, especially I was in the waters about a week ago, is when the wave comes, ride it. And don't say I'm going to wait for the next wave, because there might not be one for a while. And sometimes when you're really far out, you know, I just talked to someone about this yesterday. We were talking about swimming and how they almost had drowned. We went to dinner. We all went to dinner. And they said something along the lines of like, yeah, the waves can be dangerous. And I said, yeah, they are, especially when you're away from shore. The further you are away from shore, the deeper you are in the water, the less you can see the waves that are coming. You know, so when I stand on the shore, I can see the waves and like, okay, let's go in right now. But when you're in the water, you can't see it. You don't know when that next wave is going to come. And it's for that reason that let this be the wave for you. This is your wave. Don't let this video be another video you just listen to and then you just watch the next video. Like literally stop the video. I don't hear a lot of people saying, even just stop it now and think of what it is that you want. And can you draw it on paper? If you explain it to a 5-year-old, could they draw it on paper? And what would they draw? How descriptive, how compelling is the future that you want? Is it pulling you, or are you pushing, or are you fighting through? Like, it matters. So this is my message from my heart and soul to you all, because I want the very best. I want the best for you all. I will keep showing up. There's people who are like, are you going to keep making, like, guy, I don't plan on going anywhere. Like, as long as I'm alive and breathing and I have a camera to film on, I'm always going to do my best to show it for you all, because I'm struggling with so many different things in my life all the time. And struggling is not the best word, but I'm always dealing with challenges in my life. And as I overcome one and I can process it, or even before it's processed, if I can share it and just help save you guys a little bit of time, then for me, it's just like I go to sleep with my heart full. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. So maybe in the next video, we'll have something coming up. I'll talk about why I believe you guys need to, how YouTube can benefit you with this. And I mean that from the standpoint of you all getting out there and sharing your thoughts. And at the same time, to wrap things up, to remind you that what is going to have to happen for you to change. For some of y'all, it will be as simple as this video ending and you writing down and taking action. For others, it might take you losing someone, might take you losing money, might take you having a serious health condition. For others, sadly enough, it's going to be you losing the ability to do something. You're going to lose that ability. Maybe it's to jump, to run, to walk, to be able to do things by yourself, to be able to carry all that heavy weight and go on a trip. Maybe it's going to be, there's something that's going to happen. And it's going to take that. For other y'all, it's going to take a serious health risk where you're going to get some horrible news. Things will be okay in the end, but it's going to be the wake-up call. And you're going to realize, like, oh my goodness, I could have started this like 6 years ago, 16 years ago, 60 years ago, 6 months ago. But it is my desire that it is just this video that it takes for you to finally realize that you deserve more. You always have. And no one can make you see it. No one can make you do it except you. So with that being said, I wish you all a beautiful day. Take the action after this video. Don't let this be just another video that you passively watch and you go about your day. Write it down, think about it, using pen and paper. This is something I've been really working on. I'm really working on using pen and paper, not my iPad, nothing, pen and paper, and letting the thoughts flow. So with that, take care, beautiful day, and remember to work smart, be brave, and don't forget to smile.